Welcome to my channel, Real Talk with Uju. In today's episode, I will be talking about abuse in marriage. I know if I walk up to 1, 2, 3 people on the street and ask them to tell me, what do you think abuse in marriage is? You know what they're going to tell me? You know? I already know. But before I dive into anything, let me introduce to you guys what I'm wearing today. I am wearing a t-shirt printed, customized by me from my t-shirt business. So if you like what I made for myself, all this, if you like it, please comment below and tell me if I did a good job. If not, it's okay. But I know that I did a good job. And thank you for looking. So now let's dive into today's conversation. Abuse in marriage. And I'll tell you this. I have asked 1, 2, 3 people. And I've also done research. And everybody is thinking the same way about abuse in marriage. I'll point it out to you. 1, they will tell you physical abuse. Yes, that is part of it. They will tell you sexually abused. Yes, it's part of it. They will tell you financial abuse. Yes, it's part of it. They will tell you emotional abuse. Yes, it's part of it. These are all abuse in marriage. And you can also get all this too outside your marriage. Everywhere you can get all these things. But I will be talking about what really do you not think in your mind, in your understanding. You think this is not an abuse in marriage or an abuse to your spouse. If you are that person watching me today, before I read out all these reasons, all these abuse that you can find in your marriage or what you're doing to your spouse in your marriage, and you think it's not an abuse, you are totally wrong. You are totally wrong. It's a lot. And I'll tell you that in the men and the women in a relationship, in a marriage bond, things happen in that marriage that people don't count and also people count. And I'll start by when it comes to the men count all these things, but they overlook it. They really overlook this. But the women in the relationship do not overlook things. So in abuse in marriage, I'll tell you, physical abuse is a very bad thing in marriage. Sexual abuse is a very bad thing in marriage. Financial abuse is the worst thing ever in marriage. Emotional abuse is also another worst thing you can ever get in marriage. But I tell you this, there are some women that will do this and they think it's not an abuse. They will think it's normal to do it. If you are a woman out there watching me and you're doing this list of things I'm about to tell you today, and you think it's okay to do it, please stop it. It's not okay. It's part of abuse in marriage. Because they might not take it seriously because they are a man. Men are more, I don't know how to put this. They can still bounce back things. When you tell men something, they have the chest to take it. But we women, we don't have the chest to take it. Rather, we are going to classify it as an abuse. But we do all these things to these men and we think that it's okay to do it. I can do it, but he can't do it. Why do you think so? Why do you think that you can do this abuse to men and think it's okay, but when they do it to you, you say it's an abuse, then you claim that it's an abuse. Oh, you're abusing me in this marriage. Why? Do you think that these men too are not human beings? Do you think that these men don't go through all these things too? It's just something that I need to know. Because most of we women out there, we always think that what we are doing is right. We are never wrong. But I'll tell you today, abuse in marriage is 100% wrong. Every woman out there comes out and say, oh, I've been physically abused. I've been emotionally abused. I've been sexually abused. I've been financially abused. But they never tell themselves what they are really doing to this man that is really abusing. And there are lots of things that these women do that they think it's okay, that they think is not an abuse. But as soon as a man does it to them, it becomes an abuse. Women, this is really for you. And also, part of the men out there that think like women too, because we have some men too that think like women. We have some couple of men too that think like women. So I'm going to be real with you, 100%, that if you are a man and a woman watching me, this is for you. Insults, it's part of abuse of marriage. Insults. Do you know when you insult people or when you insult your spouse? Let me take people out of this because people are not really important. But it is important too. But we're talking about marriage. Do you know when you insult your spouse, marriage abuse, or is abuse in marriage? Whichever way you want to call it. Do you know insult? When you wake up every morning and rain insults on your spouse, do you know that that is part of abuse in marriage? Not cooking. Do you know when you don't cook for your spouse? Do you know it's part of abuse in marriage? You don't know? You never think like that when you don't cook for your spouse. Do you know it's part of abuse in marriage when you do not cook for your spouse? Do you know not helping your spouse to wash clothes or to help them do something? Do you know it's part of marriage abuse? I know you don't think so. But my darling, it's part of an abuse. It's not till when they physically touch you or sexually abused you or financially abuse you or emotionally abuse you. That is when you think that all this is an abuse. When you insult your spouse, it's abuse in marriage. When you don't cook for your spouse, it's also abuse in marriage. When you don't wash for your spouse, it's also abuse of marriage. When you do not support your spouse, it's also abuse of marriage. When you don't take care of your spouse, it's also abuse in marriage. When you disrespect your spouse, it's also abuse in marriage. When you carelessly, if you are that careless person in marriage, it's also an abuse in marriage. Because when you're a careless person, you don't care about the things that it's done in the house. You don't care about important things. You don't care about things that are expensive. You don't care about, you just don't care about that person. You don't care about your spouse. It's an abuse. So that's why I say carelessness is also an abuse too. You don't care about things because you didn't buy it. Oh, I don't care about that car. The car can damage. The car can do anything. I don't care about it because you didn't buy it. Your spouse bought it. So you don't care about it. It's also an abuse when a man wakes up in the morning and sees his car crashed. Now he has to spend money to take care of that just because you don't care. It's also an abuse. I tell you, there are lots of things. Manipulation. It's also abuse in marriage when you manipulate your spouse all the time. You abuse them. Guilt. When you try to make your spouse guilt of everything that he does, is also part of abuse in marriage. Guilt. I'm telling you this. It's also part of abuse in marriage. Sabotage. When you sabotage your partner or your spouse, is also called abuse in marriage. When you isolate, which is isolation, when you isolate your partner or your spouse, you don't want them to go out, you don't want them to do anything, you don't want them to have friends, you don't want them to go out to their games, you don't want them to have their own personal time. It's also part of abuse in marriage. Controlling. It's also part of abuse. When you want to control your man, your spouse, when you want to control everything, it's draining. It's also an abuse in marriage. Belittling. When you belittle your spouse in the midst of people, in public, all these things is an abuse in marriage. When you belittle your spouse, is 100% abuse in marriage. And I want you to get it. I want you to understand it. When you're too possessive, this is mine, this is my house, this is my car, this is my house, this is my money, this is mine. When you're too possessive, it is also abuse in marriage. Don't always think that the only meaning or definition or the only point of abuse in marriage is physical, sexual, finance, emotional. Don't always think like that. All these things, do not get me wrong, all these things, physical, sexual, financial, emotional, are very right. They are all abuse in marriage. But we can find all these things at our job. We can find all these things everywhere. But we are here talking about more and more things that is also abuse in marriage. That is also part of the problems that we are having in our society. We are talking about all these insults, not cooking, not helping out like washing, not supporting, not taking care. When you don't take care of things, when you just leave things the way it is abuse in marriage too. You disrespect him anywhere. You don't care about his feelings. You don't care how he feels. You just disrespect him in public. Manipulation. If you are that type that you keep manipulating your man or your spouse or your wife, you manipulate her 24/7. If you are that person, please stop. Manipulation can kill. Manipulation is so wrong. And that's part of an abuse too, if you don't know. Isolation, sabotage, controlling, belittling. All these things are part of abuse in marriage. Please, let us understand that abuse in marriage does not just come with physical, sexual, financial, emotion. That's not all it comes with. It also comes with lots and lots of things. It's not a must that when a man beats you up, give you all these beatings that you say is physical. Yes, it is. Don't get me wrong. It is an abuse. It's not a must that sexual thing, I understand. But my last but not the least is sex. When you are married, sex should be something that is enjoyable. Sex is something that both of you should enjoy all the time. When you need it, he gives it to you. When he needs it, you give it to him. But most of you women out there, you use sex to abuse your man because that's what he wants. You use sex to abuse him. You deprive him from sex just because you want to abuse him. So the most important part of it is that all these things that we are doing that we think that is not part of an abuse is also part of an abuse. So let us stop and understand that abuse comes in 100 ways in marriage. People appreciate the physical, sexual, finance, and emotion. But they do not embrace that when they insult, it's part of abuse. When they don't cook, it's part of abuse. When they don't wash, it's part of abuse. When you're so messy, your kitchen, your toilet, everywhere is so messy, you are abusing your spouse. It's part of an abusing marriage. And you don't support, you don't take care, you don't respect, you're so careless, you are manipulating, you sabotage, isolation, controlling. All these are also characteristics of abuse in marriage. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us understand and learn that all these things that we are doing, that we think that it's okay to do, it's not okay. Let us build our society and also make our marriages more meaningful and more enjoyable to be in. Let us stop all these insults, not cooking, not washing, not supporting, sabotaging. Let us stop all this belittling. Let us stop it, because all these things are also part of characteristics of abuse in marriage. I know you do all these things and you think it's not an abuse. My dear, stop. You are not meant to be there. It's part of an abuse. So let us stop and build our lives in a better way and our marriages in a peaceful way. If you guys like today's episode and you learned a lot from what I've just said today, I want you guys to like, share, comment, and also subscribe, because Real Talk will bring you more and more episodes coming your way. I'm going to leave right now, and I'll see you guys in my next episode. Ta-da! Bye-bye.